Want to be featured on the Rock Metal Podcast just like all the other great bands you've heard up to this point? Go ahead and hit me up, therockmetalpodcast@gmail.com. Let me know. Let's work out the deets. The Rock Metal Podcast, episode 21, Burial Hill. All right, fantastic. So Rock Metal Nation, I've got on the line today Burial Hill, a dark and melodic alternative rock metal duo from the UK, and I'm super stoked to have them on. Today I'm joined by members Ben and Fiona. So, gang, welcome to the show.
Thanks very much.
Fantastic. So why don't you guys tell Rock Metal Nation a bit about yourselves, maybe what inspired you guys to pursue music?
Okay, well... Yeah, I mean, I play guitar and sing, and Fiona plays piano and does a bit of backing vocals as well. So yeah, we've always been into music through the years, both subconsciously and consciously. You know, when we were younger, we had to grow up with music in various forms, and then we kind of formed opinions about it and started thinking, okay, this is something that captures our imaginations and gives a context to our lives, as I'm sure it does many other people. So based on that, we wanted to make our own music. I can't speak for Fiona, but I wanted to do that before I could play any instrument. You know, that was why I learned to play one. So that's kind of important for me, I think, not to kind of be trained in it because you are, or you're led down that path, but to do it because you really want to.
Yeah, I think the one thing that we've always had in common is that we've both enjoyed music, since we were younger, like Ben said. And so it was very much a natural progression to being inspired by certain artists to moving into producing our own music. It's something that we do very much enjoy. We are still very new to it, constantly learning. It's very challenging, but it is very rewarding as well.
Indeed, it's like, as you guys are telling me that story, I remember when I was younger wanting to play the guitar and then getting that guitar and then learning to play the guitar was the challenge too, having that musical background that I want and just having that drive and that force that pushes you through all those different challenges. Just very reminiscent of all those old stories. Definitely.
We're not classically trained at all. We're self-taught musicians. So I think you really do have to have the passion for the music to really drive you forward.
Oh, absolutely. What is the story behind how you guys came together to create this duo?
Well, we met randomly in a pub. Do you have pubs in Canada?
Yes, we do.
Are they called? Oh, okay. I'll just check. I didn't know if
they're called bars or something different that we didn't know.
Yeah. Public houses. Yes, we have. We still have the Queen on our money, so we definitely have pubs.
Well, yeah, that's many people will meet people in pubs. We met in a pub, and the first thing we talked about was music, because it was such an important part of both of our lives, just instinctively came up first. So that was interesting straight away, because whilst there was a crossover with the sort of genres that we liked, we both came at that same genre from completely different angles almost within that genre. So it was interesting to learn about those different influences from each other, whilst also thinking that it sounds like there's a direct line between these artists, and I really want to know a little bit more about yours, even though I may have heard some of them, and you want to know a little bit more about the influences I've got. And equally, when we started talking about the fact we both played instruments, it was just sort of a natural evolution, really, through finding out about those artists. To think, yeah, okay, I can totally see these things working together, where they join in the middle, and let's do that, you know. So it was really spontaneous.
Yeah, we had very similar interests, but equally, there were artists that you were naming that I wasn't particularly familiar with. I sort of heard of them, but not really sat down and listened to their stuff, and vice versa. So yeah, just that instant curiosity, but also having the music in common in general. And again, both being self-taught as well was really interesting. We both played So coming together was definitely something we were interested in as we sort of learned more about each other, definitely.
Quite serendipitous. You go out for a pint, and then bam, there you are on the Rock Metal Podcast.
Yeah, exactly. And here we are talking to you, John. So we're happy with that progression.
Exactly. It's beautiful. Beautiful. Okay. Speaking of beautiful, what inspired the name Burial Hill?
Okay, so this is a reasonably long story, although not very complex. We both have black cats, which was another thing we identified over, and we thought, hey, that would be cool, you know. What about? Oh, mate, I wonder if there's anyone else called the Black Cats. Oh, yeah, of course there is. Okay, so we can't be called the Black Cats. So, but how can we incorporate that in some way? I went on certain search engines and looked up black cats, and a very interesting incorporation of those animals was actually in this site. It was actually originally in the Pilgrims who travelled to America, and that instantly caught my attention because I thought, okay, well, they travelled from Plymouth in the UK, where we're based, so that's ideal. How are black cats involved in this? Well, they saw black cats as evil when they arrived in America, and sought to eradicate them as much as possible.
Oh, the Pilgrims.
Obviously, yeah, exactly. So we obviously thought, oh, well, that's not very good.
The righteous bunch they are.
Exactly, yeah. So, but they were buried on a site called Burial Hill, which is still there in America. I thought, okay, that's a nice link. It kind of links the two places. The black cats are in there, and also through personal histories of loved ones and stuff, you know, people being buried on a hill is kind of important and pertinent to us as well for various reasons. It kind of all fitted together, and we thought, well, let's give those black cats a new lease of life. Yeah, they were seen as evil. You know, some may regard our music as on the more darker side, but we wanted to kind of celebrate them at the same time. So there you go. So we're not called the Black Cats. We're called Burial Hill as a result.
So yeah, very uplifting, burying a bunch of, religious wackos, burying a bunch of black cats on a hill. Very good. Carrying on then, when you guys get together, because I know that you mentioned that Fiona does the piano and a bit of backing vocals, and Ben, you do the guitar and you do main vocals. When you guys get together to write songs, what's that process like?
It's pretty different every time, to be honest. As Fee said, you know, we're self-taught musicians, so we're coming at it very much from the expressing ourselves angle, not too hung up on theory, things like that. We kind of think it's more of a kind of punk mentality as far as that goes, in that we just want to do it because we want to do it, not because we're worried about whether it's exactly what we should be doing. In fact, quite the opposite. We want to push what we can do within the confines of our ability, and I'm sure that will grow over time.
Punks, kids these days. I blame it on school.
So it's quite a free and organic sort of way of looking at music generally, which influences the way that we do it all. So there's not really a set formula as far as that's concerned. There could be some songs are written on the piano first. Some might come up with a vocal melody. You might have the lyrics out first, you know, and think, oh, that's interesting, and then they'll bring those back later on. Sometimes I'll, you know, write a song on the acoustic guitar or something like that. So it's completely different every time, and we find that quite exciting because we don't know where a song's going to come from or when it's going to come along. So
yeah, it's quite nice just being able to get stuck in, just to sit down, give it a go. We're quite oblivious to the theory side of music, so it's quite good just to give it a go and see what comes out, and it changes all the time. So yeah, it's quite exciting, really.
Very cool. You reminded me of the Spanish Inquisition. Like, you don't know where it comes from, and you never know what's going to happen. I was like, well, nobody expects a Spanish Inquisition.
Yeah, we just give it a go, and we know what we like and what we don't like, and we just build on that. And so Ben will come up with something, and I think, oh yeah, that's really cool, and then I can sit down and add to it, and vice versa. It's there's really no set formula to how we're doing it or a particular method. It's just, what have you got? Let's have a listen. Let's see where it goes.
Beautiful. Serendipitous and organic are two words that I think come to mind for the union that you guys have going on here. So let's go ahead and listen to what this serendipitous organic combination sounds like with our first track, Dead Alive.
Down
fine. So let's talk about Dead Alive. What is the inspiration behind Dead Alive?
I pretty much started off writing Dead Alive, so I think it's only right that I perhaps tell you a little bit more about where it came from. Generally, it's about being at a low point in your life, and then rather than giving into it and letting it overcome you, it's more about embracing it, taking it on board and just trying to get through it, push through. And so it's more a song about perseverance, to sort of take something that's happening that's really bad, very negative, and trying to use it to form more of your character and to sort of overcome what's happening at a particularly difficult time.
Well, I kind of came in later on this one when it was already in a full nature of a song. Yeah, and it was really interesting to read it and the angle it was coming from. But I did see something else in it as well. So we did tweak it a little bit afterwards because I thought this sounds a bit apocalyptic to me. And on a very basic comical level, what tends to be dead alive in an apocalypse? Zombies. Mm-hmm. So I thought let's double entendre some of this stuff and see what happens. And that's why it ended up sounding like it does. But yeah, I mean, it's very much we leave everything up to people's interpretations, because whilst that may have been the way that it came about, you can apply it to different situations and different times and different people, and they'll have their own sort of slant on it, which is absolutely fine. So we were not going to go into any more detail than that, really.
Perfect. All right, let's talk about perseverance and persevering through zombies, or zombies persevering. Why don't these people understand this?
It's a difficult thing. It's a difficult thing, It's an issue that doesn't get enough coverage today.
It really isn't. I'm glad that we are using the podcast to bring this to light, which is our next track we're going to listen to, Shine the Light. Okay, coming back from Shine the Light, definitely, I think, a bit more persevering than Dead Alive. I don't know. What is Shine the Light? What is the inspiration behind Shine the Light?
I was having a bad day, and I thought...
No,
a
not you,
lot
Ben.
of people... I know. Where were you on that day, John? I needed you. But, no, I was having a bad day, but I thought things get a lot worse than this for some people, and I want to write a song about that. So essentially, it's about depression in that sense, where you just constantly, everything points to a bad day every day. But I wanted to, rather than depression influencing the way a song sounded, I wanted to document how that could feel as visually as possible. So I think that it's a song that's probably needed a little bit more than zombie problems, but not so much as inspiration for the song, as I say, more of a direct reflection on that state.
Very cool. Yeah, I may be having a bad day, but there's other people out there who are having worse off days. So let's write something a little more uplifting and give that as a gift to the world. And, of course, zombies. So you're just an all-around gent.
That's it. And we like to think, I think probably our main fan base at the moment is zombies. So if some other people could latch on to the band, that would be great, because, seeing the same old faces all the time is... especially when they're falling apart.
Yeah. Don't say the Z word.
No,
how many of them are out there?
Yes, our fans are great. So totally, we love you.
Perfect. And there's a really cool. Is that a keyboard? It sounds like there's a bell or something dinging in Shine the Light. Is that a keyboard sound? What is that? Or are you not allowed to give it away?
There's piano in there, so
yeah, it's more like a stomping style, but it's still a piano in that song.
Cool.
Maybe it just sounds a little bit different because I'm playing it differently to how I play it in Dead Alive. They're completely different sounds. Maybe that's why it sounds like a different instrument, but no, it's the piano.
Cool. I latched onto that, and of course, obviously, the rhythm as well. Very cool stuff.
Great, thanks.
You are welcome. And I am not a zombie, so we are moving up in the world.
Not yet. Wait till you listen to Dead Alive a few times.
Oh, that's true. That's true. What exciting news do you guys have coming up for Rock Metal Nation?
We got a video coming out soon for Dead Alive. So as soon as that is ready, we will put that on the expanse that is YouTube.
And just to let you know, there's no zombies featuring in the video, ironically.
No, although we do. So some will have their own opinions on that. But also that EP, which those two songs are taken from, the 4-track EP, which you've heard, John, exclusively, is out on the 28th of October, which is a Friday. And that will be available to download or stream, and we're not going to charge anything for it. We just want as many people to hear it as possible, because, to be honest, at the moment, we feel rewarded. It's our first outing, and we just feel rewarded. The more people that listen to it, the more feedback that we get. People say they identify with it and they enjoy it. That feeling's enough at the moment. And we'll see what happens in the future. We're looking at doing a follow-up EP in either the spring or summer next year, and then some performances off the back of that, because at the moment I don't think many people would want to go and watch a band for 15 minutes.
You never know. Zombies have a very short attention span, although we are trying to get out of that, and there's a reward for anybody who was willing to listen who is not of the Z word. So, actually really good news. This episode is coming out October 26th, so that means, Rock Metal Nation, that definitely going to be October 28th. You said that EP is coming out. So, stay tuned, Rock Metal Nation. And, of course, the next question is, how can Rock Metal Nation find out more about you guys? Is there a website that they should go to?
Yeah, I mean, all the usual outlets, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, but to link all those together and make it easier for people, you can go to burialhill.co.uk and you'll just find a strip of links to all those different places. So if you have a preference, or if you just have all of them, or if, whatever you want to do, YouTube as well for when the video's out. So the video will be out by then as well, I'd have thought, so you can go and check out the video straight after this podcast, and see, if you want to become a zombie afterwards. But yeah, find out all of the information on there. It's updated with news and stuff, but it's very much a centre point for all those different social media outlets.
Beautiful. All right, Rock Metal Nation, head over to burialhill.co.uk. There you'll find lots of information about the band, the YouTube video that we just chatted about, which will be the video for Dead Alive, as well as the EP that will be available. Full EP, 4 songs, 2 you've heard here, an additional 2 that you haven't heard yet. That's going to be on October 28th. As well, there's going to be a strip of social media links so that if you like to like things or tweet things or share things or whatever it is that you do on your favorite social media site, you can go ahead and hook up with Burial Hill there and let them know that you are not a zombie, or maybe let them know that you are, either way. And then from there, if you want also as well, guys, you can send me the YouTube video link, and I can go ahead and post it in the show notes for this show so that people can have access to it in multiple places.
Fantastic.
Cool beans. All right, well, guys, unless there's anything else that you would like to throw out there, I just wanted to thank you for coming on to the Rock Metal Podcast and sharing your gift and vision for a zombie-free future.
Thanks for having us. It's really good to be on the show. I must admit I wasn't aware of the show until I randomly found you on Twitter, and then instantly was like, what's this? And looked up some of your shows, and yeah, you do a really good job. It's great to hear these bands putting their stuff out there, and so it's great to be among such illustrious company. And good luck to everybody else who's been on the show and will be in the future, because John's doing a great job, and I'm sure you'll agree.
All right, Rock Metal Nation, hopefully you just found your new favorite band in Burial Hill. Big thanks again for them for coming on and sharing their music with us. Make sure to head to www.therockmetalpodcast.ca to check out all the information from the show you just heard today. And until then, rock on, Rock Metal Nation.